music. Since always those who carry a special calling walk differently, the world sees them, but does not always understand them. If you feel that some people look at you differently, that there is a mix of curiosity and discomfort around you, it is not by chance, they know. Being chosen does not mean being better than anyone else. It means that you have been set apart, marked by a purpose that few comprehend, and this difference does not go unnoticed. Your presence makes an impact. Some feel respect and admiration. Others react with envy, resistance, or even rejection. Have you noticed that some people approach you without even being able to explain why that they seek you for advice, that they feel safe in your presence at the same time? Have you noticed that there are those who avoid you, who show an inexplicable discomfort, who seem to want to belittle you for no reason? This happens because your light reveals what many try to hide. The chosen do not need to speak much to be noticed. The energy they carry speaks for itself. Some people will want to be near you to absorb a bit of that essence. Others will feel threatened because your presence exposes their own weaknesses. In this video, I will show you 7 proofs that people know you are the chosen one. These situations may have happened to you without you realizing the true meaning behind them, but after today you will understand what is really happening and how to deal with it. Stay with me until the end, because what you will learn here can completely change the way you view your journey. And before we begin, a warning: this channel is not for everyone here. We speak to the chosen ones, those who feel that their walk is different. If you identified with this message, subscribe to the channel. You are not alone here. You will find answers that no one else has given you. Now, let's get started. They feel unexplained antipathy. The chosen man or woman realizes throughout life that some people simply do not like them, for no errant reason. There was no argument, no misunderstanding, yet there are still sideways glances, cold reactions, and even veiled hostility. This rejection can arise among acquaintances, co-workers, or even within the family itself. Often, this generates questions. The chosen one tries to understand if they did something wrong, if their way of being bothers others, or if they should change to be more accepted. But the truth is that this antipathy has nothing to do with what they do, but rather with who they are. Their energy, presence, and essence provoke reactions in the people around them. Those who do not know themselves, who live in lies or fear, feel uncomfortable around someone who carries light and authenticity. The chosen one does not need to say anything for this to happen. Their mere presence illuminates what others try to hide, and this can be unbearable for those who still do not want to see their own truth. Some people will want to distance themselves for no reason, avoid conversations, or even try to belittle you so that they do not feel inferior. This behavior comes from a place of insecurity. They do not know how to deal with someone who does not need external validation to exist. Others will create stories calling you arrogant, difficult, or too different. It is a way to justify the discomfort they feel for them. It is easier to criticize than to admit that there is something in you that challenges them. The chosen one should not worry about this. Rejection, it is part of the journey. Those who cannot be near you without feeling discomfort are simply not prepared for your presence. Instead of trying to change to be accepted, accept that your light will not be welcomed by everyone. Those who need to be by your side will remain. Those who cannot handle your energy will distance themselves on their own. And that is perfectly fine. Fixed and prolonged gazes. The chosen one does not go unnoticed. They can enter a room without saying a word, yet still attract glances anywhere. Whether on the street, at work, or even in casual encounters, people seem to sense something different. Some try to disguise it. Others stare openly, but the fact is that they feel your presence even before they understand it. This prolonged gaze can be uncomfortable, especially when it comes from strangers. The feeling of always being watched can generate doubt. Why are they looking at me like that? But this attention is not about your appearance or the clothes you wear. What draws attention is your energy, the invisible force you carry. Some people look with respect and admiration. They feel your authenticity and strong presence. Even if they cannot explain it, others observe with curiosity, trying to decipher what is different about you. And there are those who stare with discomfort because your light exposes insecurities and truths they would prefer not to see. This magnetism is not something you can turn off. Your presence makes an impact because the chosen one carries a high vibration. While many live by appearances and superficiality, they move with purpose, carrying truth in their gaze and firmness in their posture. This makes people notice even if they do not know exactly why this phenomenon happens anywhere. It could be a stranger on the subway who cannot take their eyes off you, a coworker who always watches your movements, or even family members who seem intrigued by your way of being. They perceive that you do not fit into common standards. The fixed gaze is a natural reaction to what is unique. The chosen one does not mold themselves to be accepted. They simply are. And this authenticity attracts attention, whether in a positive or challenging way. If you feel that you are always being watched, do not be bothered. See it as a reflection of the impact your presence has. Do not try to hide or diminish yourself to avoid glances. What you carry is special, and the world notices it. People try to imitate you. The chosen one does not need to strive to be a reference. Their presence alone draws attention. They carry a unique essence, a way of seeing life that does not conform to standards. And that is exactly why many people, even without realizing it, begin to absorb their way of acting, speaking, and thinking. At first, this may seem subtle. You notice that someone starts using expressions that are yours, adopting your habits, or even becoming interested in the same things you like. But over time, this imitation becomes evident. What once seemed like coincidence reveals itself as an attempt to reproduce what makes you so authentic. This imitation happens because the authenticity of the chosen one is rare. While many live trying to fit in, worried about others' opinions, they walk without fear of being who they truly are. This freedom to be both bothers and fascinates those who have not yet found their own identity. Seek in the energy of the chosen one. A model to follow. Not all imitation is conscious. Some people feel that being near you transforms them, that your worldview inspires them. They begin to change small behaviors without realizing it, influenced by your strength and confidence. However, there are those who try to appropriate your essence without truly understanding the meaning behind it. Imitation can happen in various ways. Some try to dress like you, adopt your style, use your expressions, or frequent the same places. Others try to shape their personality to appear more confident, centered, and strong without understanding that your strength does not come from appearance but from your inner truth. This type of behavior can generate discomfort. The chosen one may question whether they are being used, whether people are by their side for who they truly are, or just to absorb their energy. But it is important to remember that no one can steal what is true. Your essence cannot be copied because it is not a set of behaviors, but rather a reflection of your journey. Your outlook on life, your wisdom, your clarity cannot be reproduced by someone who has not walked the same path. Even if someone tries to imitate every detail of your way of being, they will never be able to carry the truth that is within you. Authenticity is not a mask that one puts on. It is born from experience, from connection with your essence, from the courage to be who you truly are. If you notice that many people around you are trying to imitate you, do not worry. This is just a reflection of the impact you have. What you carry within you is so strong that it inspires change, even unintentionally. But never allow this imitation to limit you or make you question your originality. The true chosen one does not need to copy anyone because because they already carry within themselves everything they need. They do not mold themselves to be accepted, do not try to fit in, do not seek approval. And it is precisely this freedom that makes them a reference for those who are still trying to find their own path. So keep being you. Let them copy you. Try to decipher you and be inspired by your journey, but never lose yourself in the process. The truth, chosen one does not imitate. They inspire confusion and questions about you. The chosen one carries something different. It is not something that can be seen, but it is felt. Your presence, your way of thinking and acting, awaken curiosity. The people around you try to understand what makes you so unique. Sometimes they cannot even explain why they are so interested in you, but something within them recognizes that there is something special in your essence. They observe you in silence, analyze your posture, and try to predict your reactions. Some ask direct questions, while others simply follow your steps hoping to discover your secret. But what they do not realize is that there is no secret. There is a truth, and the truth is that you simply do. Not fit into what they expect. The world is accustomed to patterns from a young age. Everyone learns what they should do, how they should think, and which path to follow. But the chosen one does not follow imposed rules. They question. They are not satisfied with ready-made answers. They want to understand. They want to go beyond. And this confuses those who live on autopilot. Often the questions start innocently. Why do you think that way? How can you be so self-assured? What makes you so certain of your path? They do not understand how someone can be so firm in their convictions without needing the approval of others. They want to decipher the logic behind your independence. Some people observe you with respect. Seeking to learn from you, they admire your way of seeing the world, your authenticity, your courage to be who you are without fear of judgment. But others feel discomfort. They are not ready to deal with someone who does not cling to others' opinions. Your clarity challenges those who still live full of doubts when they cannot understand you. Some people try to test you. They initiate debates, provoke discussions, and question your choices. Not because they genuinely want to understand, but because your way of living exposes what is lacking in them. If you are secure and they are not, it is easier to try to discredit you than to look inward and question themselves. This curiosity and restlessness do not only happen in words, you can perceive it in the small details. Fixed gazes, repetitive questions, attempts to put you to the test. They cannot explain what they feel, but they feel it, and this sensation makes them want to discover what makes you so different. Different. The chosen one is not shaken by this. They understand that others' doubts are not their problem, but a reflection of the journey that each person needs to undertake. They do not need to justify themselves, nor do they need to prove anything. They simply move forward, firm in their essence. Those who are ready to understand will approach those who are not, will question and feel uncomfortable. But this does not change who you are. Some souls were made to see beyond, and the chosen one is one of them. People feel nervous around you. The chosen one carries an energy that does not go unnoticed. Their presence not only fills a space but alters the vibration around them, and some people feel this intensely. They become restless. Avoid eye contact, stutter, or show discomfort for no apparent reason. You notice that when talking to certain people, they fidget with their hands. Look away or try to end the conversation quickly. This reaction is not about something you did, but about what your presence provokes in them. The chosen one conveys security, clarity, and firmness. They know who they are and where they are going, but not everyone is ready to handle this strength. Some people feel small next to someone who does not need to feel fit in to exist. This discomfort happens because your energy causes a profound effect. It awakens the truth that others try to avoid those who are used to living in illusion, hiding behind masks, or molding themselves to please, feel a shock when they are near someone who is simply authentic. The introspection that your presence provokes can be frightening for those who have not yet learned to deal with themselves without you saying a word. Your firmness and the way you position yourself make others unconsciously question their own insecurities. Often, these people cannot explain the reason for their nervousness. They just feel that there is something different about you, something that makes it difficult for them to act naturally. Some will want to distance themselves. Others will try to test you, challenging your opinions or trying to find some weakness, as this would make them feel more comfortable. But this should not concern you. The chosen one is not here to make others feel at ease, but to fulfill their purpose. Not everyone will be able to walk alongside you. Not everyone will be able to endure your presence if you have noticed that some people react this way around you. Understand that this is not your problem. It is a reflection of the impact your energy causes. The world needs people who awaken the best in others, even if this initially generates discomfort. And you are one of those people they seek your validation. The chosen one does not need to impose themselves to be heard. Their presence and energy naturally make people trust their judgment at different moments in life. You notice that people around you come to you seeking answers they want to know. Your opinion, ask for advice, and often expect you to confirm that they are on the right path. This happens because your clarity of thought and intuition are uncommon, while many live confused, trapped in doubts and insecurities. You have a broader perspective on things, even when you do not have all. The answers your way of seeing life conveys security. Some people do not even realize they are doing this. They start casual conversations, share dilemmas, and deep down hope that you will give them direction. Others are more direct, asking what you would do in their place, or even changing their minds after hearing your opinion. They see in you something they do not find in others. Often, this happens because you see beyond the superficial. The chosen one does not get lost in distractions, does not let themselves be deceived by illusions. They see the truth even when others try to ignore it, and this truth becomes a guide for those who have not yet found their own direction. This search for your validation can be both a gift and a burden. On one hand, it is gratifying to know that your presence positively impacts others, but on the other hand, it can become a heavy responsibility. The chosen one does not always want or can give answers. There are moments when they also need to reflect, withdraw, and take care of their own path. But the people around them do not always understand this. Some may even become dependent on your opinion, failing to make decisions for themselves. It is important to set boundaries. Your guidance can be valuable, but each person needs to learn to trust themselves. The chosen one is not here to carry the weight of others' decisions, but to inspire them to find their own strength. If you notice that you are constantly sought out for advice, encouragement, and validation, this is a clear sign of the impact you have. But remember, your mission is not to be everyone's compass, but to awaken in others the courage to follow their own journey. Your wisdom is a gift, but using it the right way is what makes the difference. Offer your light, but do not allow others to extinguish yours in the process. Obsession with your failures. Not everyone who follows your journey wants to see you succeed. While some people are inspired by your path, others eagerly await any slip-up they watch, analyze, and hope that something goes wrong. And when you stumble, it's as if they finally have a reason to speak. These people do not want to learn from your successes. They are not interested in your growth, but rather in your failure. They exaggerate your mistakes, comment on your flaws, and often seem to take pleasure in seeing you fall. Music, the chosen one, awakens intense reactions. Your light disturbs your determination, provokes discomfort. Your success highlights the stagnation of those who lack the courage to grow instead of working to evolve. Some people prefer to spend their energy waiting for you to fail, and the proof of this is simple. When you succeed, they fall silent. Your progress does not generate applause from these people because the progress of a chosen one is a reminder of how stagnant they themselves are. But the moment you make a mistake, comments arise from all sides. This behavior has an explanation. Even you, who have a strong spirit and a clear vision, fail. They feel they can justify their own failures. Their thought is, if even they stumbled, then maybe I don't need to try. Your mistake gives them permission to remain in the same place. The chosen one needs to be prepared for this. Not everyone will cheer for you, and that's okay. Some people will try to diminish your achievements, discredit your progress, and even doubt your abilities, but this should not be a reason to stop. Every challenge, every mistake, every stumble is part of your process. Failure is not the end. It is learning. While others watch and wait for your fall, you grow stronger. While they comment on your mistakes, you turn them into lessons that make you even more prepared for what is to come. These people do not realize that by focusing on your failures, they are in fact acknowledging your greatness. Those who lack relevance are not observed. Those who have no impact do not generate reactions. If they are attentive to your steps, it is because in some way your presence affects them. The true challenge of the chosen one is not to please everyone, but to follow their mission without being shaken by empty opinions. Those who understand your purpose, who truly care, cheer for your growth and support you in difficult times. The rest are just spectators who lack the courage to walk their own journey. If you feel that there are people waiting for your fall, just keep moving forward while they talk about your stumbles. You continue to advance while they watch you. You grow stronger because the chosen one is not measured by the judgment of others, but by the strength to always rise again. Being chosen means walking a path that few understand. You feel the gazes, perceive the weight of expectations, and notice how your presence affects others throughout this journey. Some people approach you seeking something in you, while others try to diminish you because they cannot handle your light. Amidst all this loneliness may seem like a burden, but this loneliness is not a punishment. It is part of the process. God separates those who have a special calling because not everyone can walk at the same pace. Some people fall behind while others try to keep up without truly understanding who you are. You feel that you do not belong in certain places that you can no longer maintain. Superficial conversations that you need to distance yourself to keep your energy clean. This is not a mistake. This is preparation. The chosen one goes through periods of isolation because they need time for strengthening their mind. Their faith and their resilience are shaped during these moments, while many go on without questioning. You feel that there is something greater. This feeling of being different is not an illusion. It is a sign that you have been called to something beyond the ordinary. The world may observe you, try to copy you, or even reject you, but this should never make you doubt who you are. What sets you apart is what strengthens you. The path of the chosen is not made for crowds. It is for those who have the courage to walk, even without applause, even without understanding, even without guarantees. Every challenge you face is part of your construction. Nothing has been in vain. Neither the closed doors, nor the distancing, nor the questioning. Everything was necessary for you to become who you are today. You do not need to change to be accepted, nor to mold yourself to please. The chosen one does not fit in. They lead if this message makes sense to you. Share it with those who may also be going through this phase. You are not alone. Many go through this, but few understand the reason. And if you want to continue receiving content that speaks directly about this journey, subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about what not everyone understands, but what the chosen feel. Your path has a purpose, and you are exactly where you should.